Welcome back to another episode of Becoming Confident with me, your host, Cleopatra Williams. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about keeping it real with yourself. If you are being honest with yourself and allowing you to step into the position of growth, because so many people are in denial. So many people don't practice self acceptance. And this is one of the main things that is hindering you from stepping into the next place. This could be the very thing that's hindering you from stepping into the person that you truly desire to be because you are not being true with yourself. You're not being honest with yourself, and it is stumping your growth. So let's get into it. First things first, this allows you to take responsibility for you. This is a form of mindful living. This is a form of being self aware because when you're being honest with yourself, you are no longer allowing the energy that it takes within you to stay in denial to hold you back. You don't allow it to have hold of you anymore. And so when you be honest with yourself, you allow yourself to walk into the door or into the path of personal growth, of building your confidence within yourself. This gives you a foundation of being able to trust yourself more and being able to feel good about yourself more. For example, when someone is being honest with you, you respect them, right? Because they showed you respect. They showed you that you were safe enough to be honest with. You created a safe space for them to feel vulnerable, to open up with you. And that makes you feel good about yourself, right? Because when you internalize that you are a safe space based off someone's actions towards you, you start to carry this identity of that you are a good person. You are a welcoming person, right? You are a nurturing person. You are somebody that someone can come up to and be honest with. And because of that, you intentionally make an effort to not be judgmental. You intentionally make an effort to be present. You intentionally make an effort to be empathetic. And so when someone is honest with you, what is one thing that we say? We say, thank you for being honest with me, right? Because we appreciate it. We appreciate that someone actually felt safe with us. Not only did they feel safe with us, but they respected us to not lie to us. And this allows you to build trust with them. So, my question for you is, are you creating a safe space for yourself? And I want you to ask yourself this question because this is probably the reason why you're not being honest with yourself. Because you're not giving yourself a safe space to go to and be vulnerable with without any judgment that you place on yourself, without compassion that you don't give yourself, or the forgiveness that you don't give yourself, right? It can be harder to forgive yourself than it is to forgive other people. It's harder to not pass judgment on ourselves than it is to pass it on other people. It's easier to forgive other people than it is to forgive ourselves for mistakes. It's easier to show compassion for someone else than it's easier to show compassion for ourselves. So, what will being honest with yourself allow you to do? Because it is time for you to keep it real. We keep it real with other people because we want to see a change in them, right? So why not try keeping it real with yourself so that you can see a change within you? So take moments to observe yourself and observe your thoughts. Are you happy? Be honest. Are you really doing the best that you can do? Be honest. Are you really being present with the people that you love? Are you really satisfied? Do you really want more for yourself? Are you limiting yourself because of someone else's values and of someone else's mindset? Are you really not doing the things because you don't want to do it? Or is it because someone told you that you shouldn't do it? Be honest with yourself. Are you self-sabotaging? Are you indecisive? Do you lack responsibility? Are you judgmental? Do you respect yourself? Do you respect your body? Do you respect other people? What are you doing wrong that's causing you to be stuck? Are you a procrastinator? Are you lazy? Are you a jealous person? Are you comparing yourself to other people? Do you complain a lot? These are questions that you can just keep it real with yourself. Be honest with yourself, because when you be honest with yourself, again, this opens the door for you to change. This opens the door for you to progress into the best version of yourself, to progress into the most confident version of yourself, to boost your self esteem. When you be honest with yourself and stop making excuses, it's either a yes or no. I'm doing this, I'm not. Or you can just simply do a rating from 1 to 10, right? Be on a scale, but just being honest with yourselves. And it's so important to create that safe space, even before asking yourself these questions, right? Create a safe space for yourself, like set the mood, like get yourself together, set intentions ahead of time with yourself that when you do answer these questions, you will not pass judgment. You will just hear yourself think, hear yourself talk, right? You will be present, not doing anything else. Your phone is away. Nobody gets to interact with you. You give yourself your full presence like you will give somebody else, because you deserve it. You deserve to have the opportunity to create a safe space for yourself. You deserve to have honesty with yourself. You deserve to be in a position to give yourself some self acceptance. You deserve to be compassionate. So give yourself that safe space so that you can be compassionate with yourself and say something like, this is okay. This does not define who I am. This is an opportunity for me to get better. This is an opportunity for me to step into my most confident self. This is an opportunity for me to change. This is not an opportunity for me to tear myself down. This is an opportunity for me to no longer be in denial, which is honestly, in denial is really a defense mechanism. It is used to avoid the truth. It is used to avoid taking responsibility for yourself. So be honest with yourself. Create a safe space for yourself. Practice that self acceptance, because accepting what you did, what you thought, accepting where you are now and how things are in your life and with your relationship with other people and your relationship with yourself and your finances and your confidence level and your love for yourself, whatever is important to you, practice that self acceptance. And I want to say this: self acceptance, or just accepting where you are, being honest with yourself, does not mean being content. It does not mean unwilling to change. It does not mean unwilling to grow. Accepting means that you are releasing yourself from the bondage that you are holding on to, releasing from the burdens of the things that is keeping yourself down. Self acceptance and accepting is saying what happened happened, because we can't go back in time. Who I was being is who I was being. I can't change what I did yesterday. I can't change what I did an hour ago. I can't change how I acted an hour ago, what I said an hour ago. I can't change that I self sabotage myself out of my business. I can't change that I said something that I shouldn't have said. I can't change it, right? It is what it is, but I can accept that it happened, and I can accept that it's time to move forward, and I can accept that it's time to forgive myself. No longer allow this to have hold over you. Just be honest with yourself. And when you be honest with yourself, again, this opens the door for self forgiveness. And what happens when that happens, you don't allow no one to have power over you anymore. They can't tell you who you are, what you did, this and the third. They can remind you of it, but guess what? If you accepted what you did, how you was being, who cares? Because now you have the power. and you define who you are and you define how your life is going to be. And you cannot do that until you start being honest with where you are right now in your life. You can't move forward unless you start being honest. Do you have low self esteem? If you do, you do. Do you have insecurities? This is not saying that you have to hold on to that type of identity. This is saying that, yes, I have been. This is not who I am. And I can accept that maybe I was being that person, but I can change it and can forgive myself. But you can't do that again until you start being honest. As you continue to go on this path of being honest with yourself, accepting and forgiving and creating a safe space for you, you'll begin to respect yourself more because you are worthy. When you know that you deserve a safe space for yourself, you know that you deserve honesty. Because let me tell you, when you're lying to yourself, you're the only one that knows all the lies you ever told to yourself. You're the only one who knows those things, and they do nothing but eat up your self esteem. So, as you step into that honesty of just keeping it real with yourself, your self esteem is going to grow, your confidence is going to grow, but you have to be intentional about it. And so, for me, like a practice that I love doing is a monthly check in with myself because I know that's really going to keep me on a path of growing in the direction that I really desire to grow. And so, maybe you guys can incorporate this into your path of honesty with yourself, keeping it real with yourself every single week. Have goals, monthly goals, and then ask yourself, are you living up to the standards of where you know you want to be? Your most confident self, right? I always talk about writing on a list of who is your most confident self. What does she do? How does she speak? How does she walk? What does she dress like? What does she act like? Literally, what is her whole identity? And be honest with yourself if you're doing things like that. And so do those check-ins to see if you are on a path to growth that you want to be. Remember this, right? You have the power to define who you are and how your life unfolds by being honest with yourself and creating a safe space and embracing that self-acceptance. You'll continue to progress towards becoming your most confident self, right? The person that you truly want to be. And so that is it for this episode. I hope that this really made you think, right? Made you think with, am I being really honest with myself? Am I truly being the person that I want to be? Am I doing the things that I need to be doing? What am I doing wrong? It's okay, right? This is the opportunity for you to grow. This is not an opportunity for judgment. So take some time to think about these things and be honest with yourself because it's going to do nothing but make you better. And so I hope you take this and this helps you on your path of becoming confident and building healthy self-esteem and becoming your best self and living your best life, boo, because you deserve it. Okay. So, and that is all for this episode. And until next time, bye.